Good morning, good people. I led a practice this morning for one of the communities I'm a part of, and I don't think it quite landed. Sometimes you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet. So I thought I would try it again, share it with Contemplify, and see if it rings true for anyone. Recording this on a voice memo, so the quality probably won't be as high as the usual interviews, but it helps me do it on the fly. So, hope you enjoy it here in the heart of Advent. Blessed darkness, blessed light to you all this Advent season. I want to begin here with a brief on-ramp to what I would invite you to hold in silence afterwards by saying that I love the Western Christian liturgical calendar. These seasons anchor and expand me into earthy membership with the mystical body of Christ. I confess here and now to you that I also have my own additional non-liturgical liturgical calendar in addition to the Christian liturgical calendar. I believe I am the only one who follows it. And today, December 11th, is the start of my non-liturgical liturgical calendar year. It begins, like I said, today, December 11th, with the birthday of a poet that vivifies my soul, Jim Harrison. It ends, of course, on December 10th, on the anniversary of the death of the mystic that most directly pierces my heart, Thomas Merton. The life well lived, the life that calls to me, begins with the attentive eyes and soul of a poet, and ends with the boundless heart of a mystic. I have a photo of the poet Jim Harrison hanging over my desk as a reminder. And right next to him is Thomas Merton. Jim Harrison was a complicated man, certainly not admirable in all his ways. He was a bit of a John the Baptist type. His advice was much like John the Baptist. Harrison said that somebody has to stay outside. Now, what's strange about that, if you remember, Contemplify listeners, an author said that to me when I asked a question at their book reading. They brought up this quote. Another friend sent me that quote this week. And there's something to this. Somebody has to stay outside. Somebody has to stay outside of empire. In Father Richard Rohr's book, The Tears of Things, he says that John the Baptist is an unfinished prophet, staying outside of camp, outside the center, to critique the artificial religious consciousness of the day. In touch with the righteous anger, but maybe not fully in touch. As his work was to prepare an alternative way, the way of Jesus, without ever being able to fully embrace that way. Jesus follows John outside the camp, but then fully models and invites an alternative way, both internally and externally, by returning to the edge of the inside, healing and teaching in the margins, praying in the wilderness, and only going to the center when forced. As I stand in the confluence of my personal liturgical calendar and this season of Advent, I hope we all move outside the center of empire consciousness, that we see, like John the Baptist and Jim Harrison, all that is busted and broken, and speak to it poetically and prophetically, but that we also don't stop with just words, that we digest the anger, grieve what is, and let it seed generative love with our hands. And then, with waking eyes, pray in the mountains, reside in the margins, in bumpy solidarity with the shared woundedness of this Christ-soaked world, allowing our hearts to break open even wider. Like a liturgical calendar, this is a cyclical process I move through repeatedly. So, in the midst of empire, Advent prepares us to step outside to welcome Jesus. Advent prepares us for the birth of the Word in our own souls. So my invitation to you today is to step outside and immerse yourself in this Christ-soaked world. And then join in the ceaseless flow from outside to inside. May my wounds, our wounds, this planet's wounds, open doorways to the mystical heart. This is just a little Advent musing as you steep in the darkness, waiting for the light. May Advent be rich and true your heart to the birth of the Word in your soul.